So you just have a very high luck.
The only places that would be...
we started the stream.
would be maybe Reddit.
This is the Rantzerker number 81 Aftershow, and that's. I just wanted to make sure that it's said. So we have begun. Okay.
New York Magazine talks shit about us. Also, we need to finish Karen's thought.
We started.
Okay, so my thought was it's like the difference between the Bill Nye sex junk song and the Jesus Christ is my nigger thing, right? Where the Jesus Christ is my nigger thing, or I guess I should just call it rapping with Jesus because that's more palatable than having to say the N-word all the time. But it really actually was looking at itself. It was a self-aware kind of thing where it was like, I know that I'm frumpy. I know that I'm uncool. I know that these kids think I'm ridiculous and old-fashioned and goofy and ridiculous and weird, right? And they're gonna think but okay, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do it in such a way that it's just like so over the top and I guess goofy that it's a self-lampooning, poking fun at myself. It shows humility, and if you even look at the points that he brought up in his mad rhymes or whatever, I don't fucking remember what he called them, but that you look at they weren't like the super preachy points of the sort of Christian faith. And it was just like, yeah, no, be nice to your neighbor, turn the other cheek, blah, blah, blah. And with this sex junk thing, it seemed like it was trying to have a sense of humor about itself, but it just failed. Just absolutely failed.
Do we want to watch the sex junk thing?
No, we don't.
Was this the final thought that you had?
Well, it's just the difference between, some fat old preacher, right, who can actually make a rap video about Jesus and just completely suck, and you just know that he knows he sucks, and he's gonna do it anyway because he really loves God and he's trying to appeal to the young people, but he's not appealing to their sense of morality. He's appealing to their sense of humor. That's what he was doing.
It's like those low budget commercials that sort of local businesses they make them.
Yeah.
I'm Answer My Eyes Johnson. I've got to answer my eyes. I can't see anything. I'm crazy. But the sex junk thing was more like Pepsi doing a commercial.
Yeah.
With Brittany jumping about like that, going, "Hey, isn't this cool?" No, guys.
Cringe.
Can I interject and take it on a different tangent? Did you mention anything about the writer of this article in the stream? Because you've encountered him before, if you remember. Anyone?
What? Sorry, I was elsewhere.
I haven't even looked at who wrote it. So, who wrote it?
Max Reed. Do you remember him? How Gorka was rolled by the dishonest fascists of Gamergate? He's an ex-Gorka. He was the last raving lunacy stream of pure subconsciousness you read out. This guy has a pattern of writing these sort of streams of consciousness in 13,000 word blogs.
He didn't write this completely. He had a whole bunch of other people write it with him. This is like multiple people writing this shit, and they have links to more. So this is a spaghetti pile, possibly a spaghetti landfill.
I just want to draw your attention to Max Reed's prominence in this, because I think the dishonest fascists of Gamergate also mentioned you by name. It was the last time you guys were mentioned by name in an article trying to link some sort of destructive malevolence of the internet destroying all that is good, right and good in the world.
Why are we like? I think I know why we're singled out for being uniquely evil. Well, maybe not uniquely evil. Would you say that we were singled out for being uniquely evil, Karen? I mean, it seems really improbable that we ended up on there.
No, I don't think we were singled out for being uniquely evil. I just think we're fairly high profile and unique,
Mm.
right?
All right, I'm back.
group
Sorry, I
group
had to
of
get coffee
women-
and empty the bladder. So
a group. Okay, shut up, Brian. A group of women in favor of men's rights, and so we're not uniquely evil. We're unique and evil.
Yeah, you're a bit of an outlier.
Well, but what about the Liberty Bells now?
Well, maybe he hasn't even heard of them yet.
yeah, they're brand new. I mean, like
yeah, they
like,
are really new.
They're literally like Natty. From working with Aaron Pitsy and knowing who we are, she was inspired to do something, and she started the Liberty Bells. That's why I call them the British Badgers, because essentially they're the UK version of the Honey Badgers. They just haven't done much yet, but I think that they're well on their way to, doing their own thing. So, well, yeah, it's just because they haven't heard from them yet. Once if they become popular enough, they'll get thrown in with the rest of us space lepers.
No doubt. I think it might also be they really. I find that a lot of these outlets really focus on the moolah in some ways.
I had this idea I wanted to share. Okay.
Yeah?
I've actually had this. I've thought about this before. Oh, I'm sorry, Hyper Chicken. Were you talking? You're like so low. I didn't know you were trying to talk.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, it sounded like you were.
I think you're just echoing.
Oh, okay.
I think I have a slight echo on my end.
Yeah, a little bit. So the thing I was going to say is, all right, get this. Okay. So we do fundraisers sometimes to try to get us, to go to different places. And the Australian ICMI is coming up, and where we would like to go, right? I was thinking, and I mean, I know that this is a big sacrifice on my end to do it, because I would be the one to do it, of having or hosting like a super duper long stream, kind of like what they did. I think Milo did one.
Telethon?
Kind of, yeah. But Milo did one when he was trying to. What was he raising money for?
Was it the red pill?
Yeah, it was for the red pill, and then after that, Shuan Head did one for the guy who was in the hospitalized guy, right? So these things have been done before.
In a way, it's just really a fundraising on the internet version of Live Aid. They just sort of go for 12 hours and people see how long they can stay awake and see it all, and you just sort of have some things planned out for different times.
Yeah, exactly. And then maybe we have different guests on at different times of the day, so depending on their availability, which would depend on the time zone and how busy they are. So we could have, like, at one point during the show, we have Bane 666 on, or Bearing comes on because they're on Australian time. And then, like, other points we have people in the UK on. Maybe I get the Liberty Bells to come back on if they still like us. Things like that. And then we just have, like, a shit ton of articles.
Would they not still like us?
No, of course they like us. I'm saying if we don't do something to fuck that up, and they still, like, I'm not saying that with any real seriousness. I think that we have to,
Honestly,
we have to go out of our way to do that.
Given how Islamophobe apologetic we are and anti-pro-Semite we are, we potentially
Anti-pro-Semite? What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
it's like
Someone's
Exactly.
accused of being-
it's like being an Islamopolophobe.
Someone seems to be accused of being too pro-Islam while being an anti-Semite.
Yeah.
Or too
No,
pro-Israel
we're
while being an anti-Semite.
we literally I literally get accused of being an Islamophobe for criticizing the mass Muslim immigration into Europe, and pointing out the problems with that, and pointing out the certain problems within Islam that negatively impact the cultures in which they are imported, right? And I get called an Islam apologist for saying that, Islam
But the
doesn't
problem of Islam is twice as big as everyone thinks it
it
is.
doesn't only discriminate against women, and women aren't the only people who lack rights under Islam, and the ways in which women lack rights under Islam do not necessarily reflect hatred of women, right?
Yeah.
And so it's the same with the anti-pro-Semite, right? Where it's like, I think Israel has a right to exist, but yeah, I think it's actually a little bit of a concern when a group of people that has a huge amount of a huge proportion of people in power might, like I would keep an eye on that maybe a little bit. Like, if Jewish people, and these are not necessarily they're not necessarily religious Jews, and it's not necessarily a religious thing. It's a more of a
cultural thing,
a nepotism thing.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And
they do have. I mean, they because they were almost wiped out. They do have a big in-group bias for their own culture because they want to see it. They don't want it to disappear, right?
I think that existed. I think that existed long before that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it exists for good reason and has existed for good reason since long before that, right? Because they have been sort of systemically persecuted, for a long time. Whether you believe that they were slaves in Egypt or not, and I don't know that there's a historical record of that is, seriously reliable, in terms of the Exodus and all of those things, right? But you still have to look at the fact that, they have been discriminated against pretty much everywhere they go, right? The Roma have as well, right? And the Roma are an extremely insular society, and they freaking only marry each other, and they're very secretive, and they're very us versus them, and all of this. So I mean, like there are reasons why that is the case,
sure.
Right?
It's not limited to the Jews.
It's not.
Hey,
No,
before we get into the deep anti-Semitism, and the Hitler did nothing wrong. Can I ask a question of the patrons and everyone? I have the ability to tweet out the patron. Like there's on the patron thing, it says, let me see.
Words.
It says words. It does. It does say words.
Words.
And
Are
Yes.
they? But are they the best words? Because if they're not the best words, they got to be better. They got to be better than that.
tremendous.
Huge,
Very tremendous words.
huge words.
Well, I did find where it was that this was said, and I'm not finding it now. But it was like I could tweet out a list of the 31 people in the last week who've become patrons, and it said, okay, well, you can tweet this out. I'm like looking at this, I'm like, am I going to bring hell down on these people if I do that?
Tweet out.
What do you guys think?
I wouldn't tweet people's names without asking them first, personally.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
That's the thing I do.
Yeah.
On Patreon, I think
Some of them will be using their real names or some reasonable facsimile thereof. Some of them will be recognizable by their usernames, right? In terms of participation elsewhere on the internet, right? So I would suggest that you ask.
Well, my assumption, like the reason why I'm even considering this is because I'm pretty sure that Patreon allows you to make yourself not be anonymous, or you can choose a username that isn't.
Okay, but not everybody knows.
Okay.
Yeah, like if you don't tell people that you're going to be tweeting out their name.
They might not think to do that, or they might not know they can do that.
Why
ask
people? I think there should always be this idea that there's a reasonable expectation of privacy when you're donating. And
Now-
tweeting goes against that to a certain.
And the other reason I ask is because I know Mike approaches this differently. You seem to put all of your user or your patron names out on each video.
A lot
Yeah,
of people.
no,
Only the
on
ones
video.
that select the $1 reward. If they select no reward, they don't go on the list.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, and on top of that, I know that there are some people who like, I was just watching a Goodfella video today, and he had the patron names sort of scrolling across. But
fucking nerds.
anyhow, he had his patrons scrolling across the top, and it was essentially, I think even that, because if somebody can go to your Patreon and see, right, who has donated to you under what name, right, then it's not technically private information, right?
Well, true.
So to put it out on your video, right, on the thing that that they have donated to, is one thing, but to put it out on Twitter where it's so easily passed along and retweeted and replicable and all of that, right? That's a little bit different, right? It's slightly different, right? Because the people who are your patrons, they're paying for your content, putting their names on your content isn't much different from their names being on your Patreon, right? But putting them on on Twitter, right, is it's just a step further than that, and I don't know whether everybody would be okay with that.
No.
So
Okay. All right. Well, maybe not then.
Okay.
That's
So to Roger,
unfortunate. It would be nice because the thing is that tweeting out something like that does encourage more donations. So it's sort of a limitation on our growth.
well, you could always I don't know. Is there a way that you can send a sort of an update message, something or other that would be, people would be notified in terms of, I'm planning on tweeting out new patrons' names. So if you want to,
You can make a post on Patreon about that, actually.
you want to,
or in the message that they first get.
yeah,
Patron.
yeah. Like, so if you want to protect your identity, select out of it, or
Might be
freaking
better for an opt-in.
use a username that for Patreon.
I agree. Better to have an opt-in than an opt-out.
Okay.
Yeah. For privacy stuff, it's better to do opt-in than opt-out.
Exactly.
I agree.
There's a whole thing at the moment here in the Netherlands. The medical database, like the medical tissue that's sometimes gathered, they want to use that for police investigations. Suddenly, there's a submission in the parliament, and some prime minister wants to use that for police investigations. And I'm scared as shit because I don't agree with that. Because the government fucks up everything.
That's a true statement.
Yep.
So what do you guys think about my my idea?
I think it's a good idea.
The telethon.
wait.
Multi-hour stream.
The Badgerthon.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
No, that's a good idea. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Excellent.
Well, it wasn't your idea, actually. I brought it up in the middle of the show. You can go back and watch the whole fucking
It's
thing.
not-
No, but you brought it up today, but I've had this thought for weeks.
Oh.
No, because when Allison was talking, well, seriously, I didn't bring it up until just now, but when we were talking about Australia, and I was thinking, well, we should do something other than just make these shill videos or remind people at the end of every show. We could do that too, but if we had like something that we were giving people, I think that would be more.
Honestly, just admit it. It was my idea.
If you
What's
whatever
it like
you want to
being
think.
mansplained to by Brian?
Also,
Well, I think you're assuming his gender there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember, we at the Honey Badgers are all women, so.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have nipples like a lady.
First of all, bitch. Bitch. All right.
Right, have you considered what you would do for, say, a 12-hour live stream?
I would probably get I'd probably get videos to respond to, articles to respond to. Maybe see if there were people who
Maybe do a little game streaming too.
respond
Yeah.
to. Sorry. Yeah, maybe get like a game going. Aside from that,
Hi,
I was
Jack.
Things in on the game. Get people to come in and play.
aside from that. Oh, you mean like what's that one that Bearing is always playing? It's like
Quiplash.
Quiplash. Yeah.
Oh, you can do that.
One
Or
of the
Town of
Jackbox
Salem.
games.
The Jackbox stuff is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Town of Salem is really funny. That's a fun
There you
game
go.
too.
Yeah.
Actually, you can get a lot of people on that too. That's
So
really fun.
yeah, but those you see where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? The only thing is, this is the challenge. I don't know if there's a way to do this on Discord, but I would have to be able to get all of the guests that I would like to have on, who would come on periodically, to come on through Discord because the audio is better. Otherwise, I got to use Google Hangouts, and the problem with that is there's a limit on how. I think there's a limit on how long a Google Hangout can go. I think it caps out at 6 hours, and there's a limit on
The amount of
how many people you can have in at the same time, which is 10.
Right.
So
I mean, you could set it up with the people beforehand if you give
Yeah.
them enough notice.
Oh
to
yeah,
just
for
have
sure.
them create-
But with Discord, I think I'd have to make like a new Discord. Otherwise, we'd have to give everyone that I'd like to have on access to the Honey Badger one, unless there's a way to do that temporarily.
You could just
Which-
make an alt Discord, basically. Just make like a.
You mean
The-
alt-right Discord?
Oh wait. Well,
Next, you're going to be asking me to. You're going to be telling me that we should do some race realism on this show.
Okay. Silence. Logistics required. All right. Brian,
Yes.
who do you want to invite on? Because it's not going to help to have an alternative Discord if the problem is Discord.
I want to have on people that I often don't usually use Discord, and maybe even some that we haven't had on for a while because they would have the freedom to come and stay for as long as they wanted and then leave. So we could have Teal Deer, we could have Bearing, we could have Bunny Blackwell. I could have
We've already sorted out Teal Deer, and we have Kraut, and we have Rags.
yeah, we can get Kraut, we can get Rags, we can get Appabend, I can get the Liberty Bells most likely. I can probably get most of the people who have been guests to come on for at least a little while. You know, that's a lot. And then the Honey Badgers, like you guys, like, you know, Cherry can come on whenever she feels like it. You can come on whenever you feel like it. You know, Mike can come on. We can get Goodfella, I bet. We can probably get Skeptor. Sure, I think so. Anyway, that was my idea. I hadn't thought it all the way through, but I think that
Thinking.
Well, I think it's a good idea. It's just, I think that probably doing it in Discord because would probably be the better idea. And why don't you just invite them to Discord?
Well,
I have a new tag called Badger Friend that you could put them in.
Badger Friend?
Yeah.
Did you just make this thing?
It's been there for a few weeks.
Wait, what is it? Badger Friend? Is it a chat?
where's that?
No,
at?
it's a group, a
It's a-
user group.
Oh.
Like
Yeah.
Rags and a few other people are Badger Friends.
Oh, Badger Friends. Wait, hold
So
on.
it's already a user thing that you can just assign them, and then you won't have to do anything special.
I see producer, badger, admin, volunteer, colonels, majors, captains, lieutenants, sergeants, and online.
Well, I guess there's no friends on.
Oh, so if a friend comes on, it'll show up as friends. Okay.
Yes.
There you go. So yeah, you got it.
And they don't have to download Discord either. You can just
Yeah, they can use
go
the
to
web
website.
version. That's right.
Yeah.
They can
Oh,
use the web
you have to
version.
go to the chat grunts or something or other to see the Badger Friends because they don't have access to the Aftershow rooms.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
Kraut and Rags are on right now. Rags is away though.
Yeah,
Okay.
crowd.
So yeah, so you see where I'm coming from, and that was what I was thinking. I don't know when. Maybe.
Well, you'd have to do it soon because
Yeah, no, maybe like early June or late May or something.
No, it would have to be sooner than that because
Okay.
we're going in June. So it would have to probably be.
When in June
the
though?
next-
Oh, you're
I'm
right.
going to
Yeah.
start.
it's
I'm gonna
early
start-
June.
June, the conference is June 9th to the 11th.
Okay.
Which we would have to start traveling to on the 5th. So
Yeah.
we got to.
Oh, hey,
Very,
guys,
very, very soon.
guys, anybody in this freaking thing that is hoping to go to Australia, you need a visa to do that. Anybody entering Australia needs to have a visa, so you need to
What?
apply for that. Yep.
What?
Australia
Yeah.
is has
Go
tough
to a
border
travel
controls.
agent. Brian, you'll have to go to a travel agent probably. That'd be the best way to do it. And apply for a visa. And usually it's approved within 6 days. 90% of them are approved within 6 days. 75% of them are approved within 24 hours.
So I can't use my passport. I have to use
No,
a.
you have to have the passport.
you have
but
to
need
have
be
your
able to-
passport.
Yeah,
you have to
right,
apply to
right.
get
But
into
you also
Australia.
have to have a visa.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, so that's important because you need to actually have the visa, or it's called an electronic travel authority attached to your passport, which is essentially you're in their electronic system and your passport is in their system before you take off on a plane, because if you land in Australia and you don't have that, they will just essentially turn you away, put you back on a plane home. So just
Yeah, it's
keep
a thing
that in
Australia's
mind.
known
It's
for.
another fucking stupid thing that you have
Yeah.
to do.
Thanks for the heads up.
I put a link to the visas in the boardroom.
Canadians can apply online for an ETA, an electronic travel authority. I don't know about Americans. the freaking Europeans have it easy. They can just apply for an actual visa that, you know, takes them like 5 minutes on the website, and then freaking it's just approved, and they just can, yeah.
All right.
But they don't have to wait the potentially 6 days. And go for business tourism.
Business tourism.
Yes, business tourism is things like attending conferences. You're not there to sell anything. You're not, you know, to do actual business deals, but you're there maybe interviewing for a job, or you're there to attend a conference or something like that. That's the appropriate visa to get, because you're not a tourist. You're there on business, and the last thing that you want to do is slip at the freaking airport going through customs that, you know, you're there to attend a conference and they say it's here on a tourist visa, go home.
Mm-hmm.
Which would suck.
Oh my
How does
god.
everyone feel about VidCon, by the way?
This application only allows for male or female gender options. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Okay.
There's no Doge
No.
or Doge.
No, there's no Doge self.
Supreme Overlord.
I identify as apple cinnamon oatmeal.
Mmm. Yummy.
That sounds delicious.
I am delicious. You're not wrong.
Okay, so Mike. Okay, Brian. I
Like-
would suggest just
Like
say
vanilla ice cream.
just stage it on this
Only
Discord.
real flavor.
Okay, stage the live stream on Discord. Get everybody on here. Mike, I have initiated the planning of the VidCon. I don't think Karen's coming because she needs to
Wait,
do something.
What am I doing with the live stream you said?
Just get your guests onto this Discord.
Oh, yeah, right, sure.
Okay. Mike, I'm initiating the planning of VidCon in Anaheim. So anyone who's close to Anaheim might want to take note of this. I just need to get I need to start the whatchamers I get, the thing with the money, the fundraiser.
Words.
So, and then we can move forward. Is there something more you need from that, Mike?
No, I'm just wondering how, well, if we can get close to a head count or something, and if then we can start looking at places that we're staying.
Karen has something she needs to do on the 24th. So I mean,
Yeah, no, I'm not going. I don't want to go anyway. I don't want to come back from fucking Australia and then get on another plane 2 days later to go frickin' down to where the fuck. But even if I could, I can't because I have a Calgary thing, a speech to give for Cafe Calgary.
Okay. So probably no Karen. I mean, she could.
No, definitely no Karen. God damn
Okay,
it.
definitely no Karen. Sorry, Mike, I tried. Brian and Lindsay, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
And me and Jonathan, most likely, if I could convince Jonathan, and he's feeling okay.
Dog
So,
didn't fall off that bench again.
oh, and Karen's dog fell off a bench. All
No,
right.
she's
Poor dog.
going to.
Because really, we should be trying getting all of us on roughly the same flight, so sort of from Australia to Anaheim, right?
Yeah, well, we can try that, but it won't necessarily. You're right.
Oh, you're gonna
Once
fall.
that's sorted out, I can sort out my other two journeys. That's just me. I'm going like all the way around the world once.
Basically halfway around the world.
Yeah. All I can do now is start I'm going to try to get the fundraiser started soon. I have the graphics today, so I'm going to work on that. I can't I'm hoping to have it out by the end of the week so we can start shelling it. That's all I can say. And then after that, we can start planning things. I don't really want to put things. This time, I don't want to put things on my credit card before we have the money.
That's a good idea.
Because this one is fucking expensive. This could seriously destroy my credit.
It's like $2,000 flight, I think, for a round trip.
Yeah. But I'll keep you posted, Mike. Okay, sorry to intervene with the logistics. Do you want to go back to what we were talking about before. I have additional stuff here.
What do you mean?
I have the stuff that I edited out.
Oh, where? What do you? Okay, how much of this are
Number
we gonna go
11.
through?
Number 11 and number 26. Number 11 is the strange totems of the alt-right, and number 26 is the transhumanism of the alt-right.
Okay.
You sound nervous.
No, I'm just scrolling down to where it is. Number 11.
Strange totems.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hold on.
I didn't get Mike to read this because there was just so much.
Jesus Christ, this thing is long. Wait, number 11, it says, the evangelical right or the new left, the new right is its own social universe with strange totems. Milk, dairy fascism.
Oh.
In January, Shia LaBeouf mounted an art installation in Queens designed to protest Donald Trump. In February, neo-Nazis crashed it and started chugging from milk jugs. They weren't neo-Nazis. They were just guys without shirts, right? One guy wasn't one guy flexing his muscles and drinking milk at the same time?
Maybe they were muscles, male muscles, and shirtlessness is now neo-Nazi.
Well, it's masculine, so I mean, yeah, probably. Pretty sure those guys were not neo-Nazis. They were just talking shit and drinking milk. They were being edgy.
And how can you crash something that's open to the public? How's that?
Yeah, exactly.
Makes so much sense.
In February, neo-Nazis crashed it and started chugging from milk jugs. A couple theories about why. Theories. One, birthed on 4chan, is that white Europeans digest milk well. Another is that milk's color is white.
Gasp.
New Balance, shoes for white people. After the election, the company's PR guy lauded Donald Trump for his opposition to the Trans-Pacific Partnership.
Wait. Milk is white.
Yeah.
But chocolate milk is brown.
It's just milk of color.
And it's better
We've covered
than
this.
white milk.
It is.
Chocolate milk is appropriating black culture.
That's strawberry milk.
It's just
Chocolate
milk.
milk is white milk in blackface.
It's
And then there's
Strawberry
crude
milk is
oil.
appropriating gingers.
Chocolate milk is objectively better than white milk.
What about strawberry milk, though? I mean, strawberry milk's
Strawberry milk
delicious.
sucks. Are you talking about strawberry quick?
Wow.
That's not even real strawberry
That's
flavor.
racist.
If it was
Those are-
real
those are
strawberry
strong
syrup,
words,
I
Karen.
could
Gross.
get behind that. But the fake Nestle Quick strawberry syrup that
Yes, that's disgusting, but if you get actual strawberry
oh well then
juice,
that's okay. Strawberry milkshakes are gorgeous.
I'm saying, right?
They're delicious.
Banana milk is Asian. Okay, so
Yeah, well, and there's other yellow stuff you could add to milk that wouldn't.
banana
taste
milk is best with math. New
There's
Balance.
brown
Okay.
stuff you could add to milk that. Never mind.
After the election, the company's PR guy lauded Donald Trump for his opposition to the TPP. New Balance manufactures some of its shoes in America. Some outraged, some liberals burned their sneakers. Meanwhile, Daily Stormer editor Andrew England declared it the official shoe of the white race. It is unclear if the idea caught on because New Balance was already the official shoe of the white race.
Well, didn't the Daily Stormer call the Wall Street Journal and those three journalists the official? The Daily Stormer was the official Wall Street Journal fan site.
Yep.
Yeah, so even the fucking Daily Stormer has a sense of humor.
They do.
And yet these fucking lefties they can't fucking take a joke. They just can't.
Well, Karen, you're talking about people who equate literally the color of something being racism. Like milk is white, therefore it's racism.
Well, okay,
That's the level of person we're talking about here. We're
okay.
talking about
Well, the level of person we're talking about is when you're dealing with I don't know the Chinese person behind first generation immigrant behind the counter. They've just and you say, well, how long have you been here? And a month or something like that at the Walmart, right? How long, when did you come to Canada? No, just a month ago, and you speak English really well. That's a microaggression.
Of course, why wouldn't it be?
Because it's like actually just, wow, you've only been here for a month?
Right.
And you actually
you speak so well.
Conversational English, not the English that they teach you in freaking school in China, but conversational English that he picked it up fast, right?
Right.
But it's like all of these are microaggressions, and so it's like, how do you even interact with?
Yeah, you can't. You basically can't talk to anybody at that point because nothing. There's no thing so small that they can't find a problem with it.
You know, and if I had asked, because I asked the two Muslim guys at my work, you know, when I learned about Maria, right, the bride gift, when I learned about that, you know, in terms of what happened, you know, family law in Iran, right, I asked the two guys I worked with from Lebanon whether that was a thing in Lebanon too, and they were like totally happy to explain what it was and how much they'd pledged and, you know, and what the contract involved when they contracted to marry and how much they'd give her up front, you know, 4,000 gold coins, dollars worth of gold coins up front, and then, you know, $31,000 in reserve to be called in on as a paper debt, to be called in by her at whenever she wants, right? And, you know, like they were happy to share that. One of them even gave me a bit of extra information that I had no idea about. He said, if we have kids and she breastfeeds, she can demand a wage from me for that.
Wow.
Because it's my job to feed the family. That's my responsibility. So if she's feeding the kids, I have to pay her a wage if she wants me to, right? And so it's like, oh, that's interesting. That would be cool if I could have been paid to fucking breastfeed my youngest for 2.5 fucking years. But before I finally forced him to, I had to do psychological warfare to get him off. But, no, literally, he would like come to me with a pillow. He would go into one of the bedrooms, grab a pillow, come, stick it on my lap, climb up, lift up my shirt, and do his thing, right? So I had to hide. I had to hide every pillow in the house.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you had to hide your boobies. I was like, that had to have been tough.
No, there was no
But
hiding.
Hey-oh. Hey-oh. Thank you, Bride.
But I had to
Speaking
hide
of milk
every
as a
pillow.
symbol of white supremacy.
Every morning when I got out of bed, I would go to all the bedrooms. I would collect all the pillows. I would stuff them into a closet. I would close the door, and then so he'd be like, you know, playing or something, and he'd like trip and fall, and he'd kind of get a little bit like annoyed and upset, and then he'd be like, "Oh, I want some comfort. There's boobs over there," and I'm a little peckish, right? So there's boobs over there. Let's I think, and he'd start looking around for a pillow, and he'd look and he'd look and he'd look and he'd look and he'd wander around, and then finally he'd be like, he'd forget. He'd lose his train of thought, and it's like, oh, Legos, right? And you know, so that was how I had to wean him, right? If I could have been paid a fucking wage for 2.5 years for that bullshit, that would have been great.
Right. Here you go.
All right, so shall I move on? The next one's great. All right, so we did New Balance, which is the official shoe of white people.
Which are great shoes, by the way.
They, you know what?
Yes.
They are. I have a pair of New Balances. I've actually been wearing. I've been wearing them for years.
Sneakers I would buy.
Some of my favorite shoes I've
Well,
ever owned.
they're
New Balances.
inexpensive.
They last forever.
They're inexpensive and they last a long time. That's all I give a shit about.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So,
Yep.
a solid shoe. It's solid. All
Good
right,
investment.
Jane. It's very sensible. Jane.
It is.
Jane Austen, old-fashioned heroine. Anglin associates the 19th century novelist with sexual purity and Taylor Swift. She is the anti-Miley, he has said of Swift. While Miley is out having gangbangs with colored gentlemen, she is at home with her cat reading Jane Austen. Milo Yiannopoulos has suggested that there is an anti-feminist current to Jane Austen's work. He also misidentified her as a Victorian. Gotcha, Milo. Gotcha. Others see her novels as a blueprint for white, genteel utopia. I think it's kind of funny that they're making the Taylor Swift reference here, because that's another one of those things that just sort of turned into something funny, where they were basically using Taylor Swift as a symbol of the alt-right and putting her in like Nazi uniforms and shit with Photoshop. But it's really, but the thing is, they're just being funny. It's like, obviously, if you ask Taylor Swift, she'd probably be like, I don't even know that this is happening right now.
Right,
and I also don't think that Taylor Swift is actually the best example of some like perfect woman, because she's obviously a nut job who cannot keep a relationship going for more than 6 months. But I just thought that was kind of funny. So, Taylor Swift, the anti-Miley. And I don't know about the Jane Austen thing. Apparently, Milo thinks that there's an anti-feminist current to her work, but I don't know. I don't read her shit, so. Next one. Nazi furries, swastika fetishists. People who dress up in furry animal suits call themselves furries, do they now, and attend conventions with names like Rocky Mountain FurCon 2017. Lately, a specter has haunted the community. Nazi furries, led by one notorious furry called Foxler, who dresses in a black short-sleeved shirt, red tie, and a red armband that has a fucking paw on it. Foxler denies being a neo-Nazi, despite reportedly making comments like, "I stand by Hitler." In anticipation of Rocky Mountain FurCon, god damn it, you guys.
Just as a little bit of an aside, can these people leave the furries alone? I mean, yes, they're laughed at, yet, and I'm not a furry or anything like that, but really, it's getting a bit tiresome just to use these. Look at these fuckwit weirdo freaks. Let's heap all sort of dark motivations on them. Jeez.
Well, I find myself defending furries too.
Well, okay, but can anybody possibly imagine a universe in which this dude Foxley or whatever, Foxler, okay, or whatever his name is just trolling people?
Yeah.
Like he's got like a red armband with a paw on it, and he's just playing a character.
I think they misquoted Foxler. He stands by Kittler, not Hitler.
Hitler, yeah. Baby foxes are kits.
Yeah, and gerbils.
Gerbils?
No, gerbils.
Gerbils?
Oh, gerbils.
Gerbils.
Gerbils? Sorry, that's a joke from another team speak. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
But I just like, oh my god, like I don't understand. It's like these people would be super offended if they knew that my son, in private or in the privacy of our home, calls his social studies teacher Mr. Cuck.
Oh.
Boy.
Well, hey, you know what? Here's the thing, though. You got to understand about a lot of
But
this
Mr.
is that
Cuck's not bad. Mr. Cuck's
Well-
not bad. Mr. Cuck's actually pretty decent. My son acknowledges it, but he's still kind of a cuck.
Well, Mr. Cuck, notwithstanding, though, we're talking about people like Maxer and these other Offendetrons who are using these ideas and these things as motivation toward their base because these people don't know about it. So they're telling them about it. It's like, oh, the furries, oh, the alt-righters. Oh, it's like, oh, I don't know who these people are. They all exist on the internet,
They're
So
taking
these are-
every fucking joke and every low-effort shit post
Yeah.
and turning it into a boogeyman to
Exactly.
scare people. And it's just like, I don't understand how anybody can take you seriously.
Right.
If anybody who watched that video, right?
Well, they
of
don't, though. That's the thing.
the shirtless guys drinking the milk straight from the jug in front of Shia LaBeouf's camera, right?
They left out the bit where you guys see the bit in the He Will Not Divide Us where the New Yorker guys, they're like these super Italian, I think one of them's Greek though, New York guys, and they walk up and they're like, yeah, we're here, it's in Brooklyn, and they're just like talking about essentially their support of Trump and everything else. They're talking about the snowflakes, but they're doing it, they're like these, men of color, I guess, Italian guys, blue collar as fuck, and they're in there talking about their support, but for some reason the media didn't glom onto that. It wasn't convenient.
Yeah, no, and there was another one with an Asian guy and
oh yeah, he does the speech.
Black friends and
Yeah.
a couple of white guys with him or something like that, and he was just like, yeah, no, here's why I'm voting for Trump. Like, you guys need to fucking give your heads a shakes, blah blah blah, right? And it's just like they don't talk about that. They don't, but they just. Guys drinking milk in shirts yelling, yeah, you black people can't do that. Like, what?
Well, that's the thing.
I
They
can
rely
drink this because I'm white. Right?
They rely on their viewership not to look any deeper, though, because sadly, most of their viewership doesn't. They take their word for it because they're the press, and the press wouldn't lie to them. There's this idea that the press is this unassailable bastion of truth. and they,
Anybody-
you can't see anything on TV that's not real. It's like they confuse the truth in advertising laws with news, and it doesn't work the same, unfortunately.
Everybody here, once we're done here, needs to go watch a Bill Whittle video on YouTube called The Narrative. It's like Bill Whittle's Afterburner, The Narrative. And in one of these freaking CN news stories on, I think it was MSNBC, they were like, there was a Tea Party protest of Obamacare in front of the White House. Okay, and there was a fairly large crowd, and somebody was there open carrying an assault rifle on his back and a pistol on his hip. Right?
Wait, in D.C.?
In D.C., right in front of the White House.
Okay, see, that's a problem because they have pretty strict gun laws in D.C. as far as
But he wasn't arrested or anything. Okay,
Right.
He wasn't arrested. He was there. He was open carrying. He was like, I have my gun permit. I have, and he was just in the crowd, and he just had his gun slung on his back, and he had another on his hip, if I recall correctly, right? And they were saying, this is a big worry because, racists, who don't like the fact that the president is black, this is what the concern is, okay? And if you look at their footage that they showed, it was the guy from the top of his white shirt collar down to his hip, right? From the back, right, of this gun slung across his back. And what you don't see is that the guy's black.
Oh, yeah, the dude with the glasses.
Yeah.
Right.
The
Oh,
guy's
that's
fucking
right.
black. And they don't show that, and they turn it into this big thing about white racists protesting a black president. They're saying that this is dangerous, armed white racists protesting a black president. And it's a black fucking dude who just doesn't like taxes.
Right.
Sounds like somebody didn't do their job.
Right.
Well, they had to have cropped the footage in order to not include the black back of his neck and his black shaved scalp and his black hands.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Hands of color, Karen.
Oh my fucking, it's absolutely fucking ridiculous. It's getting to the point where, I'm sorry, I can't trust shit that gets reported in the mainstream media. Nothing. The only stuff I trust that comes out of mainstream left-wing media or feminists' mouths is stuff that is I did not give Amy Young's master's thesis on benevolent versus hostile misperceptions thereof. Okay, I did not give the methodology and the statistical analysis of that study as much scrutiny as I would have any other feminist study, because the conclusions that she came to made sense. And they made sense in the sense of when people, men and women, see a man treating a woman just the way they would treat a man, they think he's sexist. And when they see him treating her better than he treats other men, they think he's not sexist. And the only thing that seems to mitigate that, right, a little bit, not all the way, is if it's made clear to the person watching that he's doing it for benevolently sexist reasons to promote women's equality, right? And that's why he's treating this woman the way he would treat another man, right? And that all makes perfect sense to me. And the fact that it's a feminist saying it means that, okay, if a feminist is saying this, right, I can probably trust the methodology. I can probably trust that she hasn't fucked with the results. Because this is not what feminists want to hear. That when we treat women equally, when men treat women equally, we see those men as sexist.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't pick that kind of thing apart quite as much. So when I see CNN reporting on something that really damages the left and supports the right, I'm more likely to take it's counter narrative. It's counter to their narrative. I'm more likely to take their word for it. When I see Fox News report in a way that favors a left-wing candidate over a right-wing candidate, I'm more willing to take their word for it because I know they've probably fucking fact-checked the shit out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so...
And they wouldn't report it if it wasn't important.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Hey, Brian, I think I can actually stop the live streaming.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you could press the button if you wanted to. You actually have control.
So you can go and do what you want to do. We can just like...
Do you want to? I mean, there's just one more on the list here, and then we can stop it since you had us do the at least the totems.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's.
All right. Let me just finish this. Okay. In anticipation of Rocky Mountain FurCon 2017, this is still the Nazi furries. He attempted his first coup. Booking...
Wait, Brian! I just want to make sure. What's wrong?
Nothing. Everything's great.
What was that? You want to make sure what?
Oh, God. Actually, I feel like just slinking into a corner with my head held down low.
You really are the worst part of Honey Badgers, Allison. Jesus.
Oh, no, I just wanted to clarify that these Nazi furries, are they Nazis who are furries?
Are you asking an honest question?
Okay, no, what she's asking is, are they Nazis who want to impose Nazi ideology on the entire society and just happen to be furries, or are they furry Nazis, in which case they really only want to institute Nazism within the furry community?
Or alternatively, they just want to institute a furry version of Nazism, which one would presume would involve...
Oh, the furries would be the master race.
Or that...
Species.
Hey,
The master...
what the fuck?
The master species.
That's a hoodie, not a toy.
Well...
God.
Okay, wait. No. Actually, what I'm doing, Karen wasn't correct. Although I love how she just, when I do something now, she just interprets it, and it's usually something really deep.
Seriously fucked up, yeah?
No, intellectually deep. Like I'm making some profound commentary. No, actually, what I was doing is I was just quoting the idiocy on the poster here because it says Nazi furries. Furries who are Nazis.
Yes. Or Nazis who are furries.
I thought Nazi furries implied that they're furries who are also Nazis.
No, but the thing is that's
I want to know. I want to know whether they're Nazis in the sense of they want to exterminate the Jews and they think the Aryans or white people are the master race and they just happen to really like, splooging to like, furry porn or whatever, or whether they actually think that furries should be the master race.
It's a marked distinction.
If I had to guess, I would say
all else are Untermensch.
Well, I would, if I had to guess, I would say that it's the latter. They're probably they probably believe that furries are the master race, and but first they have to start by attacking their own. So
if.
That's why he's attempting a coup, booking 30...
I think we should try and get an interview with him, because if he actually comes out and says that furries are the master race, everyone else is Untermensch, then we will know once and for all that he is the most fucking bizarre and weird shitposter fetishist of all time.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think he's going to defeat Tile Man.
Okay, so...
nobody got that reference. All right. No, I'm actually quoting the insane string dartboard diagram shit where it says Nazi furries underneath furries who are Nazis, and my actual question is, who did that? Like, it wasn't in a non-ironic way. Like, is this like some sort of deep subterranean troll that the New York Magazine is doing?
No,
I don't.
No, they have no idea what they're doing. This is the longest non-argument I've ever seen.
This would be 7D chess.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
like
continue.
some shit that Carl Sagan couldn't fucking figure out.
Maybe 9D chess.
Billions
Yeah, no.
and billions of chess.
Yeah, like what's his name? Feynman wouldn't be able to fucking.
Yes, it's like 100D Chinese checkers. 5D backgammon.
It's like Mobius strip running.
All right, so
proving that board games are irrational now.
yes, especially Monopoly because it never ends. All right, I just want to get through the rest of this.
It's asking a little too much.
In anticipation of Rocky Mountain Fur Con 2017, he attempted his first coup, booking 30 hotel rooms for his furry raiders. Organizers feared violence, and in April, the convention was canceled. We did a story on this already on the Polecat, so let's go watch that. All right, last totem, Dilbert, alienated alt-right recruit. In Scott Adams' comic strip Dilbert, the sadistic corporate executive Dogbert mercilessly promotes his own career at the expense of others. In one strip, he publishes a fraudulent tabloid filled with sunny lies about himself. In another, printed in the 1990s, he is asked by a Russian if your god is Donald Trump. Dogbert replies, "I don't think it's official yet." In 2015, Adams began predicting a Trump victory on the basis of Trump's master wizard rhetorical techniques. For several years now, Adams, a manosphere hero, has been griping about the cuckolded American male. Dilbert itself, read as an alt-right text, becomes a comment on alienated white men stifled by modernity. Whoa. I did not read into that much.
Nope.
No, I can see Dilbert itself being a commentary on the position that, white middle-class men find themselves in, where it's like...
sort of white collar middle management type men, like Office Space types?
Well, no, Dilbert is an engineer, so is Alice, right? And they're constantly saddled with their essentially middle management boss. He's not the head of the company. He's not the CEO. He's their immediate superior supervisor, and he's a victim of the Peter Principle.
I almost heard superior. Sorry. Okay,
he's a victim of the Peter Principle, which is you get promoted all the way up to the point where you're completely incompetent, and that's where you stay. Okay, so
it's an era of promotion systems.
But essentially, Dilbert and Alice are constantly dealing with the marketing department who are promising things that cannot be delivered, right? If you actually, there's a video on YouTube called The Expert, and everybody should. It's about like red lines and blue and green lines, and we need you to draw us 7 lines, okay, all perpendicular to each other, with some of them red and some of them green, but others blue ink, but all of them red. Yeah, and it's like, so you essentially, and finally the guy just is like, you're the expert there. Everybody's like, we're depending on you to do this. And he's like, fuck, I can do anything, I guess. I'm an expert, right? This is my life now. My company is promising this thing that is physically impossible. And so this is where we're in this room now, right? Where I have to deliver something that's impossible under the laws of physics and the universe, right? This is the position that Dilbert and Alice find themselves in, and so it's not just white males. It's essentially people who are stuck in the middle between incompetent people above them and incompetent people who are pledging their service to others, and so I mean, like it really is a statement on a certain.
Essentially, what happens is he needs to do 3 red lines that are perpendicular, and something like however many green lines that are also done in red ink, and the people who are demanding all this, because it's all done by committee, are saying, well, you're the expert, so you need to figure it out. And eventually he just gives in to the insanity and gives them exactly what they want.
Well,
But-
he tells them he'll give them exactly what they want.
Well, no, he gives them exactly what they want. He just figures out what the fuck they mean by perpendicular, and he finds out that, no, actually what they mean by perpendicular is, 4 perpendicular red lines that don't intersect.
I think that if
Think.
when you're talking about the cartoon Dilbert, if you're looking for a more modern example of that TV, then that would be the show The Thick of It. You ever watched the British TV show?
I put the link to the expert in the poll, the Ranton Classic Aftershow, for anybody who's interested. And also, Hyper Chicken, you need to speak up because you're really low.
I was just saying, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Much better.
If you want a more modern example of Dilbert that's on TV, would be the TV show The Thick of It, which was about British politics. Of one, it would be, instead of Dilbert living a life of quiet exploration, it would be the sweariest, most nasty man in the world in British politics as the party whip of the British party in the show. I take it no one's seen it.
Well, it's
Wait, is that the one with the guy that the guys that
The Doctor Who guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
Capaldi. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, if you don't mind swearing, watch it.
Yeah, it's a
because-
funny show.
Yeah,
if
it's a
we
funny
don't
show,
mind swearing.
but, yeah,
Really?
it's the most swears per minute of TV you'll ever see.
So have we finished the final totem? I think we're still on Nazi furs.
No,
Okay,
no, I read the last one. It was Dilbert. We're done.
Oh,
Yeah, Dilbert.
no, I guess I just was ignoring you all.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, probably. Okay, so yes,
Yes?
Okay, never mind.
And Gilbert is a furry. Is he?
No, Dogbert is, though.
Dogbert and Catbert.
Yeah.
But does Dilbert draw Dogbert?
But Catbert is even more evil than Dogbert.
Yeah, I think I think he's literally Satan in that
Yeah.
in that series.
I'm
I'm not gonna assume Satan is bad though. Maybe the press is just misrepresenting Satan's points of view. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and take us out because I want to get on with the rest of my life, and
I got people to feed here, so
I also need to start reaching out to people. Show announcement channel. What? Okay, so I am going to try and reach out to people about doing a live stream marathon thing. So, and I'm going to go ahead and close it out. Thanks, guys, for joining us on
Wait.
the after show.
Before we go.
Yes. Okay.
Catbert, the evil director of human resources. But is he actually Satan?
Yeah, because if you're the director of human resources, that basically means you're the devil.
Catbert is actually really, really not nice. Dogbert is overtly not nice, and but at least he has there's some kind of sense to it.
Mm-hmm.
But Catbert is just evil, just to be evil.
Mm.
Just the evil is its own end. For Dogbert, the evil is the means to the end that he desires. For Catbert, the evil is its own end. Yeah. And also, you should, Allison, you should listen to some of the interviews with Scott Adams. He was on Dave Rubin. He's actually quite
woke.
No.
Well,
red pill.
He's red pilled and then some. I mean, he's got a lot of insights into human behavior, and specifically the tactic that Trump was brought to bear that worked so well, right? He said, the art of persuasion and all of that, right? That branding and things like that really freaking worked for Trump, whether he did them intuitively and subconsciously or whether he did them because he's consciously playing 4D chess. It doesn't really matter. But when you have somebody like Scott Adams who's sort of sitting back, and he was predicting the Trump victory way early, and he, even when all of the mainstream media was like, oh yeah, 98% Hillary Clinton in a landslide, he was just like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen, right? I'm not predicting Trump in a landslide, but I think he's got, a good chance to win, blah, 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 right? So, yeah.
Okay, all right, let's let Brian leave. We need to end the subject of Mexican labor. Or he left already. No, he didn't leave.
No, I haven't left yet.
He's not a Mexican, he's a